Hello everyone, it's Max here. Right off the bat, I am so sorry for not uploading this week so far. And really, I'm not sticking to the schedule as much, and I'm kind of being unpredictable when I upload, and I'm really sorry. So right off the bat, I will say I was busy, okay, this weekend and going into the week. So I didn't have time to make anything. I'm really sorry, okay, but I was busy in my defense, but I promise I'm going to try and do, a bit more of a schedule and try and get into the groove of doing that. We hit 700 subscribers recently, which is crazy to me. Like, we were barely on 600 when I did the last video, I think, and already on 700. That's crazy. I love every single one of you. And because of the fact that it's taken me so long to do a video, I thought I'd try and do a video which may be a little bit longer. It doesn't really seem to affect views that much when the longer ones are and how much people actually watch them, because the reason I don't like doing super long ones is because I think, well, is no one going to watch this? And I want to make content that people enjoy. And to be fair, if only one person watched it and they enjoyed it, that would be enough for me. But I kind of don't want to make a video that's super long and no one actually wants to watch it, because this is for, this is for the fans and for the viewers. That's what this channel is. You guys are always top priority with whatever I make. So I thought I'd do a bit of a longer video, kind of similar to ones I've done before. I love these ones where I just get to talk to the camera. I love role plays, but I love ones where I get to talk as well. So I thought I'd do a video going through a couple of my records. I collect vinyl records. I've collected them for several years now, and music-wise, because I've never talked about my music taste on this channel, I don't think, besides the music store roleplay where you can see those were all my CDs. I didn't necessarily buy them all, but they're all my collection, so that's indicative of what I like music-wise. So I really like a lot of music from like now to the probably furthest back I'd go. I like classical music. I love like early 1900s sort of like show tunes like Cole Porter and such, and jazz music. I love 50s rock and roll stuff, I love Little Richard, Elvis, Buddy Holly, all those guys are great. I love really so much music. It's kind of hard to find music I don't really like a genre. There's plenty of bands I don't like and artists I don't like, but like to find a whole genre that I dislike an era is very difficult. I like most stuff music wise if it's good. I don't care what era it's from. If it's a good song, it's a good song, or a good album, whatever. That's exactly how I feel. So I have a lot more records than this, but these are the ones that I picked out because I feel they showed my a bit of diversity within my taste across eras and such. There's so many more records here that I could talk about, so if you want to see that, let me know. I'll start with this record, which is one I actually brought the other day. This is the Virgin Suicide soundtrack. I don't own many soundtrack albums. I own the Top Gun soundtrack, which is a really fun soundtrack. I own that one, but this is the only other one I own. I love this movie. I haven't watched it in like 2 or so years, I think. I read the book. The book wasn't great. The movie was really good. I like Sofia Coppola overall. I think she's a good filmmaker. And Coppola, how do you say it? She's no Francis, obviously. Her dad's the goat, but she's a good filmmaker. And this is my favourite film of hers, which is her very first one. And one thing I love about this movie is it has an excellent soundtrack. So I'll read off like what songs. I'll read on this one because this is like a soundtrack collection. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to spend too long going over every track, but I'll give you a song I'd recommend from every album. And this one's different though because it's a compilation of songs that were in the movie. So the first song is Magic Man by Heart. Okay, so Magic Man by Heart, which that's Ann Wilson, I think Nancy Wilson. It was two sisters. Heart was. That's a great song. And then Hello It's Me by Todd Rundgren. He's awesome. Though I think it's a missed opportunity to not have it open with Hello It's Me. Like, to have the album open on a song called Hello, It's Me. Surely that's a bit of a missed opportunity there, but whatever. Everything You've Done Wrong by Sloan, whose inclusion on this soundtrack is quite anachronistic because they were a 90s band. This film takes place in the 1970s, but they're a really great, underrated Canadian group. C'est Matin-là, I think you pronounce it. I don't speak French, by the French band Air, who did the score for this. Two of their songs are on the soundtrack, but they did the overall score, which is like a completely different album. The Air That I Breathe by the Hollies, which is a great, great song. How Can You Mend a Broken Heart by Al Green, which is the Bee Gees wrote that. Al Green, brilliant, brilliant singer. So that's side one. Side two is Alone Again Naturally by Gilbert O'Sullivan, classic 1970 song. Followed by I'm Not in Love by 10cc, who are a band I love a lot. Todd Rundgren Again, A Dream Goes On Forever. Heart Again with Crazy on You. Yeah, Ann Wilson and Nancy Wilson there. Then Playground Love by Air, which is the movie's theme. It's actually used in like an advert on TV at the moment. Though in brackets it says vibraphone version. I haven't got around to listen to it yet, so I don't know what the difference is between that and the theme version. And then it ends on Come Sail Away by Styx, which is a classic like 70s progressive rock song. This is the back. There's Cecilia, I think she's called, or Cecily something. Lisbon. I haven't watched the movie in a very long time. But she's played by the actress who I think played Jenny as a kid in Forrest Gump. So fun fact there, and it's also got Kirsten Dunst on the cover. Anyway, it says here, James Woods, Kathleen Turner, Kirsten Dunst, Josh Hartnett, The Virgin Suicides by Sofia Coppola. So yeah, that's a great compilation. I haven't did you listen to it yet, but that's some great songs and a great movie. So next up, I really don't have much to say about this album because it's Rubber Soul by the Beatles. This is my favourite Beatles record. The Beatles are great. We all know the Beatles are great. There's no point really telling you that they're great because the Beatles are fantastic. I'm not going to go through every song in every one of these albums. That one was just because it's a soundtrack album. But Rubber Soul has lots of great songs. Also Drive My Car, Norwegian Wood. I mean, I love every song here, even the ones that people don't talk about as much. But my favourite is I'm Looking Through You by Paul, which features Ringo on the Hammond organ, apparently. But yeah, this is my favourite Beatles record. I just think it's got the short poppiness of the early stuff, but musically it's much more mature. And I like early Beatles. I think they're great pop songs, but I'm not as big a fan of early Beatles as I am later Beatles. I prefer the later stuff overall. But I think Rubber Soul is a really nice midpoint. That's probably why it's my favourite. It's a really good midpoint between them. It's before Revolver, but it's after Help. So this is the back cover. You can see all of them there. George looks pretty dapper there in a cowboy outfit, it looks like. All the Beatles all looking very cool, especially Paul, my favourite. Then I have an album which quite unexpected maybe to go off the last two albums, but this is, hang on, let me put this in the right way. This is Guts by Olivia Rodrigo. I love Olivia Rodrigo. I like modern pop music casually. I don't hate most modern pop, but there's very few modern pop artists that I listen to and think they're anything more than just like pop artists. They're good singers, good songwriters, of course, good performers, because that's what pop music really is about, it's performance. But Olivia Rodrigo is just really, really good. I'm a huge fan of like Alanis Morissette, and I think that kind of like female singer-songwriter edginess, laid bare type songwriting that Alanis did, and you know, I mean, Sheryl Crow was doing around the same time. If you go back further, you could probably say Joni Mitchell was doing a less pop version of it, more folk. Carly Simon is another great example. And I'm pretty sure three of those artists I've mentioned there, Olivia Rodrigo's collaborated with on stage, so that says a lot. But I think this is really a great record. It's just a perfect pop album, and it has so much like guitar stuff on it as well, which I love when pop music blends into pop rock, you know. And, you know, it's even got a sort of like Avril, Kelly Clarkson, Pink type thing to it. So that's the back. This is a special one. The disc is purple. I don't want to get it out because I'll drop it. The record, sorry, it's not disc. It shaped like a disc, but it's not a disc. My favourite song from this album is probably Ballad of a Homeschool Girl. I really love that one. But this is a great record through and through. It's very, very fun. Then I got my favourite album ever, probably. I don't really have like a list of favourites. I have a list of favourites, but not like ranked. But I think Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys is probably my favourite album ever made. I love this record. It's gorgeous. And if you've never seen the movie Love and Mercy with Paul Dano, who I've been told I look like, and John Cusack, definitely watch that. I love the album anyway. That movie gave me an entirely new perspective on this fantastic band and fantastic album. The Beach Boys are my favourite 60s group. They're probably my favourite, like, I don't know, contender for favourite American band ever. That's a lot to think about, but these guys are awesome. Some great photos on the back here. You've got Brian up here. Of course, you've got all the other guys. You've got Mike, you've got Carl, Al, Dennis. I think I'm missing one. No, it was Brian, Carl, and Dennis, then Al, Jardine, and Michael. Yeah, okay, I'm not missing anyone. My favourite song on this album is literally impossible to choose. I don't think I gave you one, because every song on here is great. I love all of them. I really don't know. I actually don't think I can give you a favourite song on this album, because I love every single one of them almost equally. I don't know, I really like You Still Believe in Me. I really like that song. So maybe that, I don't know. Next is Purple Rain by Prince. Okay, I love Prince. Huge Prince fan, okay? Prince and the Revolution, sorry. Purple Rain. Because he was actually credited as Prince and the Revolution. This is a really excellent album. And I love Prince. This is everything that was good about 80s pop music in one album. So you've got the rock, the funk, R&B, soul, everything. Sorry, my hair looks really funny. It's just an amazing record. I think Let's Go Crazy is always my favourite. It's always been my favourite, got me into Prince, but just every song on here is just so good. I know I say about a lot of these, but this is really an amazing record, and Prince was one of the most talented musicians ever. There was a period of time where I'd probably call Prince my favourite artist ever, and he'd still absolutely be up there. I think I've listened to this album more than any other album here since getting out on a vinyl, along with the Olivia Rodrigo one. It's just so fun to listen to. It's just Take Me With You is also amazing, but the whole record is brilliant. I'm a huge Prince fan. Then I thought I'd get something a little more retro. We've got Frank Sinatra, Strangers in the Night. Now, I grew up on Frank Sinatra, okay? So Sinatra has always been an artist I love and admire. You know, I know he didn't write any of the songs he did, and a lot of them were already existing songs and stuff, but he just had a really good voice, and he didn't have, I don't think, like, the greatest voice ever. He didn't have, like, the best range or anything, but he just had a really nice voice that I just love listening to. It's just one of those singers that you can listen to him sing anything, and he had so much charisma, and everything about Frank Sinatra was amazing. He was an icon, and I really love this guy's music. This is the only one of his I own, but Strangers in the Night is like a good starting point album. I don't think it's like his most famous or acclaimed, but it was from the 1960s when he had his comeback. It wasn't like because you know, like, this kind of music went out of style with the Beatles and such, but then in 1966, him and I believe the year before or that year, Dean Martin actually had a comeback with Everybody Loves Somebody. And I know Dean Martin didn't like Beatles and all those type of artists. I'm not sure how Frank Sinatra thought about them, because I think Frank Sinatra sung. Did he do a version of something? I know Elvis did, and Elvis did a great version, and Elvis was a Beatles fan. He covered the Beatles multiple times, so he must have been a Beatles fan. But this is one with Strangers in the Night. It's got Strangers in the Night, which is also amazing, obviously. But Summer Wind is my favourite. I love Summer Wind. It's just got so many great songs, several ones you will have heard in other places. Very minimalist design for production. I love this shot of him singing. You know, he's got the words there and the microphone and the recording booth, the colours. I love this front cover. The back cover is not really as great. It just has the credits, the songs down here. It's got like, you know, arranged by Nelson Riddle. There's a whole bit written about Sinatra here, which is really cool, but it's not really doing much on the back. But I like this album cover, especially considering the fact that in the 1960s, albums weren't like the most creative, you know what I mean? So, I mean, a lot of them are very similar. The best album covers sort of came in like the 70s, the tail end of the 60s. So I do love that record. The last one I had here picked out, but I'll probably actually go to have a look for more, is this, which is Rush, Spirit of Radio. Now, you may be thinking, some of you eagle-eyed viewers out there, or Rush fans out there, will be like, this isn't an album. And you're right, you're quite right. This was not released as an album. This is a single. This is the Spirit of Radio single. But then not only is this the single of the song, obviously it's an original, because singles don't usually get reprinted. It's a rare promotional single that contains not only Spirit of Radio, but it also contains The Trees and Working Man. So I had to buy this because I love Rush. So I had to get this. This song, it's my favourite Rush song, got me into them. And when I saw it was the single for that, and not only that, it was also getting 2 other amazing Rush songs with it. It was like, yeah, I had to buy this. I don't know if there's a price on it, but it's really great. But that's the single. You've got the guys there. You've got Geddy, Neil and Alex. Amazing musicians. And on the back you've got all their albums, because it's sort of promotional. I also own 2112 on vinyl. And that's Pment, which is the album that this song is from. If you've never listened to Spirit of Radio, I highly recommend it. I know a lot of people probably will find Geddy Lee's voice a bit off-putting, but I love it. I've never had an issue with the vocals. It immediately clicked. Rush did for me. Just immediately clicked. The perfect mix between just everything good in music, I think. So, for example, here's 2112. That's it, 2112 there. There's, see, I have quite a lot of records, and I don't want to create too big a noise here. I've got the greatest hits of Leonard Cohen, which is a famous greatest hits record. I love Leonard Cohen. It's basically, but from like his first like 4 or 5 albums. I don't buy greatest hits usually, but I saw that and it was like, there's a famous greatest hits, and it's got a bunch of great Leonard Cohen records on, so it's quite relaxed. I put it on the background. Here's one of my favourite albums, Peter Gabriel. Malt. It's just called Peter Gabriel 2 or 3, but it's colloquially named Peter Gabriel Malt. That's got one of my favourite album covers ever on the back. It's very minimalistic once again, but a great design. These are the songs on there. My favourite is my favourite is Family Snapshot. It's not even probably. It's a fantastic, beautiful song with multiple sections about a political assassin. It's really amazing. Paul Weller plays on here as well. It's games about frontiers, just Kate Bush singing on it. It's just all together an amazing. I think Robert Fripp plays guitar on it. Someone from King Crimson is on that. And Phil Collins plays drums on it. I have In the Airplane Over the Sea by Neutral Milk Hotel. Very iconic cover if you've been on the internet for more than 10 seconds. I love this album. Not before it was cool, because it's been circle jerked on the internet for like 20 years, but before it became super popular with like TikTok, I listened to the album years ago. And that's not to make me sound smarter or better than anybody. I just like to sort of say that, you know, I've been a fan of this artist for a long time. Just so it's like, I get to the point now where I'm not surprised if I find someone who likes this album, which is great. I'm glad, because it's an amazing album. More people should know it. But from when I got into it, and it was like, you would never in a million years meet someone who knows this album, to then nearly everyone I know knowing this album is really awesome. I really like that. So that's the only reason I say, like, I'm into such and such artists before they became super popular. It's just because it's like, I don't know. It's nice that there's more people who are fans of that. This has a really great insight. The best song on this album, I don't know. What is the best song on this album? Probably Two-Headed Boy. I really don't know. I like Ghost. Pavement, Slanted and Enchanted. That's a great record. And I showed this one off because I got it limited edition, anniversary edition from the Matador store. It's got a pattern on the vinyl, which I don't want to get it out because I'll probably break it. And that's the back design, which is really cool. These guys are also another one of those, because they had one song on TikTok. I saw them live a few years ago. Phenomenal. Okay, absolutely phenomenal. I love this band. Pavement have been one of my favourite bands for years. Summer Babe's the best song on here. Just is. Here's the Top Gun soundtrack I mentioned. Such a fun, cheesy soundtrack for a fun, cheesy movie. A pretty basic design. There's nothing really there to stand out, but it does its job. You've got Volkel there. Anthony Edwards is his name, I think. Obviously Tom Cruise, Kelly McGillis. I think Tom Skerritt played the... He was in... I think he played the head guy. I can't remember. Danger Zone, obviously. Mighty Wings. The track listing isn't in the right order. I don't know why that is. Mighty Wings is great. Obviously Taking Breath Away. Top Gun Anthem. Lead Me On. Playing with the Boys. Heaven in Your Eyes. Hot Summer Nights. This is a really great record. Obviously it's acquired taste and it's very cheesy, but if you have enough self-awareness to enjoy stuff like that, you'll like it. I only have one Stones album, which is Let It Bleed. I'm not the world's biggest fan of the Stones' records. I love their individual songs, but I don't think they have many like amazing albums. They have some good ones, obviously. Sticky Fingers and Exile on Main Street. Nice one, but this one is a really great record. It's a good album. It sounds amazing on vinyl. Has all these songs on. Obviously, Can't Always Get What You Want and Gimme Shelter. That's weird. It doesn't say. I mean, that's not in order either. But You Can't Always Get What You Want is the best song on that album. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Here's After the Gold Rush. Neil Young. I brought this when his music had gone off Spotify. Now it's back on, but it doesn't matter because Neil Young's awesome. So this has a gatefold in the middle of Neil. Seeing there like a badass. And there's also, does this one have, no, it doesn't have anything inside. This is my favourite Neil Young album. I also love one little detail. I've never really looked too much into this, but it says on the back that most of the songs were inspired by the Dean Stockwell, Herb Berman screenplay After the Gold Rush, which I don't think was ever produced. I may be wrong, I'll have to look that up. But I think that was one that was never released. And Dean Stockwell, wasn't he Quantum Leap, I think. So, that's an amazing album. And the video's getting a bit too long, so I'll just finish it with this next one. Because this is also an anniversary one. This is Days Are Gone by Haim, their first album. Because if you watched my... Wait, hang on, what video? I mentioned in a video that I have a crush on a lot of Haim. I can't remember which video it was. But I mentioned it in a video. This is just a really great like pop record. I mean, it's like alternative pop, I guess you'd call them. Because they're a pop group, but like they're a bit more, I don't know, something more to them in a way. But this is like a deluxe one. It says great iconic album cover. But it's actually like a sleeveless version where you can just take it off. So that's weird. I don't want to go into grabbing all of these purely because of the fact that this will probably fall out on me and I look like a right moron. So I am... there we are. That's the original album, the bonus disc. So let me have a look here. I can't actually remember what's inside. Is that it? Or is there something else? Oh. Okay, I actually don't know if I even think of this one. There's a poster in there. Oh wait, no, yes, I do remember. And there's also the other album. So, sorry, just gonna allow that for the first time. I'll go put that back. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed, everyone. I'm gonna go and edit this video, probably, and stay beautiful.